What's up, everybody? It's your favorite Thundercats favorite nerd, and today we are looking at the SDCC exclusive from Mattel, Wilykit and Wilycat. This is on loan to me from Brian Brink, who is kind of a member of Plastic Fanatics. Like, I don't know exactly how. They have an open door policy over there. It's a podcast. You should check them out. Victory Saver, all good dudes. But if he's not, like, officially part of the cast, he should be. He's a good addition to that show. Anyway, we're going to talk about these guys. We're going to talk about the accessories. We're going to talk about these boards and get them right out of the way. They are cool, but they have a hard time standing. I've seen pictures on the interwebs, which is a dark and dangerous place, as we all know, but they have like little plastic stands for them to sit on that would probably help a lot in some of the pictures. But we'll start with this fella. So you see the bottom of the stand. Now it's painted well. It looks great. But like there's this clip here, and it may have come with it. I just didn't get it. If it did, cool. If it didn't, it should have. It's kind of how I feel. Nice paint on there with the symbol and all that jazz. Looking good. And then the peg for the foot. You can see the other foot has been scratching against the paint, so that's kind of a bummer, and the paint is wearing off up there, so that's also kind of a bummer. Accessory-wise, he comes with like his like little, you know, there's a little whip thing, and it plugs into his belt instead of clip-on or anything, so I think that's actually cool. It ends up looking more seamless that way. I dig that. The sculpt itself is good, and then the balls, so to speak, are painted, and the handle is painted. If you don't want him to do that, you can use one of these other hands to hold a loose whip. This is a loose plastic, so you can't pose it or anything. There's no wire in it. Same sort of paint jobs apply, and it does split into two strands, so that's kind of cool. And he holds that in a holding hand. He also has an additional kind of holding hand with a trigger finger, and then he has like a posing hand on that hand, so that's cool. Over here, he has the opposite hand in a handhold and the like puff of smoke. Only problem with this is it's a little heavy, so once you get it balanced you should be fine, but it can pose a bit of an issue if you don't have it all kind of sorted. But the paint is really good. It's a dark gray plastic, and then it's dry brushed this white lighter color gray for the smoke effect. It looks really good, and then the little blue and red balls are also painted, so to speak. And it is molded to the hand, so that's actually a pretty smart idea. Also, it does away with any sort of issue of having to pose it properly to, you know, get it balanced in his hand. So now we'll talk about this guy. The paint is really great, but there is some chipping issues along the way, and we'll just talk about it as we go through. So the sculpt, I should say, is fantastic. I think this is a 4 Horsemen sculpt. They did a great job. The paint on it is fairly well done. You got black. This hair piece is a separate piece, which I believe is orange. There's some black smudges in there. That's kind of a reoccurring issue. We'll continue to talk about it. Line work as to where this mane kind of starts and stops is a little touch and go, and the black paint getting in all the crevices of the head is a little touch and go. But that is the hair. As for the face, it's this darker shade of brown, and then it has the lighter shade painted on. The eyes are painted black, white, red with a reflection spot, and they're all done pretty well. A couple places where it gets a little out of the lines, but for the most part it's done pretty well. And it's on a ball joint, so you get down to there, up to there, and then the swivel, it's a little loose too. It gets a little bit of a bobblehead. Ba-doop-ba-doop. And then we have the torso. It does have a waist swivel. It's just a swivel. It's not a ball joint or anything, so keep that in mind. The paint is done really well, though. We got basically 3 shades of brown. It continues on through the lower tunic as well. For the shoulders, they're on ball hinges, or disc hinges rather, so you get up to there, and then the swivel, so that works. No bicep swivel. But you do get the bicep swivel right above the elbow, so it kind of counts. Elbow gets you just shy of 90 degrees, and then all the way down. Wrist swivel, wristbands are painted well. All this stuff is painted well. Where the seam is here, we have chipping. Right along here, we have chipping in the paint. It's the same on the other side, and the paint is sort of the same sort of QC along the way. This is a softer piece of plastic, so it shouldn't impinge much. The belt is a muddy sculpt here. So I don't know what's going on with that, but the tamper paint is good. However, the lion is too low. It should be more centered, I believe. For the legs, they're basically, I think, universal joints. But because of the tunic, it's kind of limited. You get out to there, front and back to there. Could that be? No thigh swivel. That's a bit of a bummer. Single hinge knee getting you 90 degrees on both sides. Ankle tilt, good amount forward, good amount back, and it does have a rocker, I thought. Yeah, it's built in. And then the paint is done fairly well, especially some of this line work is a little tight, and for all intents and purposes, it's done fairly well. So that's this guy. As for her, sort of the same deal with the accessories. You get the same surfboard with different paint, same sort of issues apply, same sort of pros about it as well. Accessory-wise, she has the same sort of thing, except she has her signature lasso, and then you can also coil it up and peg it on to right off her belt, and that works fairly well as well. We'll set those to the side, and we'll talk about her hands. She has one posing left hand, one holding right hand, and then she has like one trigger finger left hand and one trigger finger right hand. And we'll talk about her. So head sculpt is pretty much the same sort of pros and cons. Great sculpt, great paint, but the paint does get outside the lines. Those two shades of brown and then the black, red, and white throughout. The hair, good sculpt once again. Her hair is a bit different because it kind of just follows the line work, so I think that that's done fairly well for what this is. Same ball jointed head, same sort of motion throughout. Same waist swivel, good sculpt. This line is definitely centered, that looks better. The belt is painted well, all the little nidbits and stuff are painted well. Disc hinge shoulders, get you 90 degrees, and the swivel. The wristband is painted, or the bicep band rather, and yeah, no bicep swivel, but you get it at the elbow, so that's fine. Little shy 90 degrees, just like the other one. Wrist swivel, no hinge, and that's on both sides because you see it's a little ball peg that connects into the hand. Well, I'm going to leave that one alone. It looks like I'm going to leave that one alone too. Maybe I can show you on one of the spares. Little ball peg. But it's just for tension, it's not for motion. So then we have the tunic, or the little like bottom skirt bit, painted well, softer plastic, still impinges articulation on these. I guess this is a universal joint. Hers works much better though, so out to there, front and back to there, which is still a little limited. No thigh swivel once again. Knee, single hinge, gets you less than 90 degrees. Foot, ankle tilt. Up a taste maybe, down, and then the rocker is built in, so that's fine. All the paint on both the blue and the pink on the foot go wrap around to the bottom of the foot, which is nice. All looks good. Size comparison wise, there they are with Marvel Legends Doctor Strange, so that should give you a fair idea of what you're looking at. Final thoughts wise, this really comes down to how much these characters mean to you. I'm not a huge Thundercats fan. I mean, I dig the Thundercats. I watched them when I was a kid, but I never really had any of the toys or anything. Mainly because my father drew the line at some point with all the collections I had as a kid. But, I mean, I think if you had the Thundercats, you kind of have to get these guys. And as a result, it doesn't really matter what the price is. You have to get them. The good news is that most things here work really well. The only issues are there's limited articulation, no thigh swivel, no wrist hinge anywhere, and the ankles aren't the best, and the head ball joints aren't the best. If those necks were on a separate ball joint, like a double ball peg coming from the head into the torso with the neck kind of acting as a cover around it, it would have worked much better. But those are the sort of the issues. There's a couple paint mishaps along the way, but for what this is, like a major American toy company like Mattel, the paint is done fairly well. The materials feel good. There's a couple problems getting them to stand. They're a little top heavy. Their heads are huge, like grassers, and their feet are relatively small. So that poses a bit of an issue. And I wish that the surfboards had stands, but they may have. I just may not have got them myself in the package that I was sent. So all in all, they're decent. The price probably is a bit more than decent in that regard, but I think ultimately once you put them on the shelf, you'll have that rewarding feeling of finishing off the major characters of a collection. So I do recommend them, but just try to get a good deal. Do you know what I mean? Thanks for. Oh, I got Adam Russman coming in the house.
What up?
We're getting ready to do some Nerd Rage, huh?
What's up?
He just walks in. These are Wilykat Wilykit from
look how cute they are.
From
super cute, bro.
On loan from Mr. Brink. Dude, they are cute as shit.
Yeah, man, those little toes, little cute little toes. Can you pan down little cute little toes, man?
Let's get a toe shot.
Oh man, look at the little pink little nails.
This for all you feet weirdos.
I know, you know what, man?
Huh?
Feet weirdos. I think the weirdest weirdos.
You think so?
Yeah, can I tell a little story here?
Sure.
Okay.
Hey, everybody, no skit today. Adam Russman's telling a story.
Oh, look, I saw you. So I had a buddy of mine named Bob. You know.
Not me.
Not you.
Mm-hmm.
And
it's a fact.
he lived in the back of a barber shop, like this little apartment back of the barber shop.
Okay.
Like his brother, big guy,
Uh-huh.
kind of strange, but everybody thought very passive. So one day his brother shows up and he's like, "Hey, listen, a package is gonna come. I don't want it to come home because his brother still lives with mom and dad.
Uh-huh.
I'm gonna have it come here. Can you guys just keep it for me?" And we're like, "Well, what is this? Is it like, you know, is it a naughty movie? Is it a naughty film? Something like that." So it comes, and we're all too curious. We got to figure out what this is. So we open it up, and it's this video of feet, but it's not like a X-rated thing. It's just the camera like pans at a woman's feet, like she wakes up in the morning, feet hit the carpet, walks into the shower, water draining on the feet, puts on shoes, walking down the street, the heel breaks on the shoes, and she like goes down there to strap up the heel. It's just the whole thing is just filming her feet. True story, crazy stuff I've ever seen in my life.
Men are very strange
They
animals. You know, there's other ones where like you just watch like a woman stepping on a turtle and stuff. Like there's weird stuff like that out there.
Why a turtle?
I guess it's something to do with the shell. It's a textile thing, I guess. I don't know.
Is this like shredder porn?
Yeah, I guess so. Tonight we dine on turtle soup. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. Until next time, take care.